Another ship, low in the water, loaded with goods for foreign lands. Each day, many ships move slowly in and out of our busy harbor, bringing things we need, taking things from us to others. There are narrow channels in our harbor, narrow streets of water where ships must move slowly, carefully. But when huge ships slow down, they are hard to steer. They need help. And the tugboats are the helpers. Steer, the huge liners would be a real danger in the harbor. This long tanker wouldn't be able to steer its way to a dock without a tugboat to help. Come visit a tugboat with us while we do a day's work. We check in with the man who sends tugboats wherever they're needed. He's called the dispatcher. Nothing yet? He expects a freighter soon from a far-off country. A busy harbor needs several tugs and several tugboat captains. This is my tug, the Wilmington. And this is the three-man crew that helps me run it. Up here on the top deck is the wheelhouse, and just behind it the cabin. Sometimes I sleep here when I stay on board at night. Tugs may not look like much on the outside, but down below there is a surprise. A huge diesel engine. Our diesel engine has more power than 6 big highway trucks. The engineer keeps it shining like a new kitchen right after the dishes are done. On the main deck is our old kitchen before the dishes are done. But on a boat, if you called it a kitchen, you might get thrown overboard. On a boat, it's called a galley. Over in another part of the harbor, at the top of a high building, there are men who watch for incoming ships. They are expecting the freighter from the far-off country. And there she is. They phone the dispatcher that the ship is coming in, and the dispatcher passes on the word to me.
Attention tugboat Wilmington. Freighter approaching outer harbor.
At the same time, a harbor pilot gets into a motorboat. He goes out to meet the ship before it reaches the harbor. A harbor pilot knows his harbor. He knows each channel, each shallow bank, each dock, as well as you know where the furniture is in your own home. No large ship is allowed to enter a harbor without a harbor pilot to guide it. The ship's captain turns over command of the ship until she's safely docked. When the freighter reaches the harbor channel, our tug is waiting for her. She is slowing down and soon will be hard to steer. Our tug will help to steer and move her. Now here's how the pilot will dock the ship with the help of my tugboat. We will make fast to the ship with heavy lines. Our ship must slip in ahead of another one which is already at the dock. The tug will swing out and push the bow of the ship. The ship's propeller at the stern will also push until she's safely docked. Now here's the real thing. The deckhands get ready to make fast the lines. The lines will hold the tug so it doesn't slip along the side of the ship. Without the lines, we wouldn't be able to push or pull. See the space just in front of that other ship? That's where we want to go. From now on, the pilot and I must work together very carefully. I will work on the after deck where I can see and hear better. The pilot is up on the ship's bridge. He signals to me with a whistle. Once when he wants me to push, twice when he wants me to pull. I return the signal to let him know that I hear it. Docking a ship is very different from parking a car. You can't put on the brakes and stop quickly. If we should hit the dock hard, we could tear a huge hole in the ship and in the dock. So, we work slowly. There's the signal to swing the tug out and push the bow. Lines are thrown to the dock. The tug is like an extra engine pushing on the bow. The ship's propeller moves her own stern. Finally, inch by inch, she slides into her berth. The pilot signals that the ship is safely docked, and our crew casts off the lines. A good morning's work is done. Big ships coming and going often can't run on schedule. Because of this, we often don't know when or where our next job will be. So we head back to our own berth. In the afternoon, the dispatcher calls to send us on another job. This time to help a ship get out of the harbor instead of in. It's always an exciting time when a passenger liner starts out on a long voyage. Exciting for the passengers and their friends, at least. But we have work to do. We pull the ship stern first, like a small dog pulling a big man on a leash. We have to turn her around in the narrow channel so she will be headed out to sea. Another tug helps us. It pushes the bow one direction. And way back there at the far end, we are pulling the stern the other direction. The world is a day older. Another day's work is over. We have done our share. I mark it down in the log.